everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a little bit different for me. So I wanted to talk to you about like interviews and pretty much really interview tips, and I would just like to share what I do when I go to interviews and how I prepare for them. So if you're interested in watching that, then just keep watching. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, and let's get into the video. So I feel like how I prepare for them, I feel like would pretty much apply for any job that you're going for, whether that's like retail or an office job. You can like work in a restaurant, but I do know that like restaurants and bars and things like that, I do think that they get people in for like trials and things. I've not gone one for myself personally, but I do know people that have, and I do know that they get you to like trials and things, which is really good because I feel like you get a feel then whether you actually like the job or not. Even though it's probably a little bit more nerve-wracking than actually going to an interview, I do think it's a really good way to like explore what job you're going to be doing and so on. So I'll just tell you what I did previously. Which I don't think I've actually mentioned it. I might, I'm not sure. Previously I used to work in retail, so I was in like a smaller store, and I was there for about 2 years when I went to college, so I did that like part-time. Then I went to another part-time which was more hours and better pay and things like that, but it was a different job, and it was like a much bigger company to work for. And now currently I work in a law firm, doing office work and things. Yeah, I'm really chuffed about that. Like, it's just I used to like retail and things like that, but I've always really wanted to get into an office job, and I'm super chuffed that I got it. But I'm just going straight into telling you my tips because that's probably what you're here for. So, and just for a start, these are what I do personally. I mean, they might not work for everyone, and everyone might not do the same things. They're pretty much straightforward that I do think pretty much everyone will actually do before they actually have an interview. I think I said actually quite a lot then. But basically, my first tip is always research the company, and if I keep looking down, I have got my notes here just in case I forget. But I always research the company 100%. I feel like it doesn't always crop up like when you're in the interview. They don't always ask you, and you might think, oh, I've just researched it for nothing. But if they did ask you and you've not got anything, then it kind of looks like you're not really interested in the role. So I always grab about 3 points and bullet point them down, and I'll keep reading over them, kind of revise them. So typically 2 of the main things would just be like when they first started the company, like how long has it been running for, and then also what they do. Like for example, if you go on retail, what do they sell, and you know, things like that. So always just make sure you research the company, because you don't want them to ask and then you're sitting there like, I haven't done that, so I think you should go make something up. So yeah, that's number 1. The second tip is, you might think, oh, why is she saying that for? But I always prepare my outfit, so I always dress smartly. So I like to wear like trousers, some nice shoes, like a blouse or something. So I feel like obviously if you dress really smart as well, it looks good when you, like, first impressions always count. So yeah, just always make sure you dress good. So the night before I will prepare, and then if it needs ironing, iron it and hang it up so it's nice and ready. So you're not going to faff about like, oh, I need to grab my shirt out and I need to iron it. So yeah, I always say have your outfit prepared, even though it might be like, oh, that's such a girly thing to say, but no, it's always good to look good. Number 3, I would say prepare your journey. So I always like to do this, especially if you're driving and you've not been to the area before, so you've got to think like, oh, where can I park and things like that. So I would just go onto Google Maps and just like look around for like any car parks that are nearby, or any like street parking that you can get. And obviously like if you're catching the bus or the train, then just like work out what times you have to get them for, because I know sometimes like there can be delays and things like that. And also the same if you're driving, like there could be like traffic, could be an accident that will obviously make you delayed. So always plan ahead your journey, like always. And then it's obviously the day of the interview, so this is done before. So when you arrive at your interview, I always get there early. Like, to be honest, I'm always super early. Like, there's times where I've got there every day and just sat in my car like, yeah, I'm like half hour early. But I always like to go in around about like 10 minutes, maybe 15, it just depends. Because I feel like when I get there, once I've got in the building, I've sat down, I feel so much better. Like, I'm still a bit nervous, but the nerves have kind of gone a bit, because you kind of have that chance just to get a feel of like your surroundings and things like that. So I always like to get there early and just kind of like sort myself out, sort my hair out, take my coat off, look presentable. So yeah, I feel like that, for me, that's always a good one, because I feel like, I always say it, but every time, once I'm in the building, I just feel so much better. And also, guys, I did forget to mention earlier about like researching things. I always research as well what type of questions that they might ask. So it's nothing major, it's just kind of like typical interview questions. Like, someone asks you like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? What skills can you bring to this role? And one that I do get quite a lot is kind of like, have you ever dealt with like a difficult customer, and what did you do in that situation? And I say customer or client, depending on where you work. I feel like I always get asked that question, and I do like to kind of prepare an answer. I know you can't remember everything, it's kind of like in your head, it's all like muddled. But if you've got like a brief answer, I do feel like it's good to kind of remember it. So those are like kind of typical ones that I usually always get asked in interviews. So yeah, I do like to research those as well. And then also throughout the interview, always make sure you're making eye contact, you're sitting up straight, you're not slouched over like looking everywhere like when they're talking to you, like because obviously again it doesn't make you look interested in the role, doesn't make it look like you want to actually be there. Like, imagine if you're slumped over like yeah, just like answering the questions like that. No, you've got to be like sitting up straight, shoulders back and you've got to be looking like you're interested, which hopefully you are interested in the role because you're actually there. You are interested in it and you're paying attention and really engaging in what they're saying to you. And also, you can take your own CV with you. I know that some job applications don't ask you to put their CV on there, so you can take one if you want. It's not necessary or anything. So that's entirely up to you. I don't take one personally, but I know my boyfriend, when he goes, he said that he sometimes takes one. So there's just another thing for you if you want to take one. Last thing of the interview, once you've had it, is always ask questions. I feel like when I used to go to interviews, I would never ask questions at the end. I'd just be like, no, it's fine, you've covered everything. But no, honestly, just if there's something you're unsure about, 100% ask. You don't want to be offered the role and then when you get there it's nothing what you expected, or so forth. So the question I always like to ask is, do they have targets? Because when I was in retail, there was targets that we had to reach and things like that. So that is the main point that I always ask, is about targets. Like, whatever job it is, like it could be anything, I always ask that question. Another one that I like to ask is what type of training that they're going to provide. So have you got to go in for a few days of training, or are you just going to have 1 day training? What does it involve? Because obviously, like, when you start a job, I feel like you want to be trained good. You want to make sure that you know what you're going to be able to do, and you're going to have someone showing you what to do, and you've not just been like chucked into it. Like, there you go, you've got the job, off you go, carry on. So that's another one that I always ask. And pretty much, I kind of feel like they're based on like what job you go for. Whatever job you go for, it kind of just depends on what questions you might research, what they might ask you, and then questions at the end to ask as well. It's all entirely different. It's just that this layout for me, it's like perfect, because especially when you feel prepared and like you've got your a few little questions down that you can kind of revise and things like that. I just feel like it's just so much better to prep and not, because when I used to go to interviews when I was younger, like, and I was in college and things, I would just kind of go to them and not actually prepare. So I feel like when you get there, you're all a bit like, oh, what if they ask me something that I've not even bothered to research and things. So those are all my interview tips. I hope that was helpful. Even to like one person, it would still be really helpful. I just feel like interviews are always like really nerve-wracking, especially for me, as I have probably already previously said loads of times. But yeah, I'm like a really shy person and things. Anyway, I hope these really helped. If they did, don't forget to thumbs up the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new here. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!